Alright, I've done one of these director's commentaries for a stop motion film and a live action film. So now I've got to do one for one of my 3D animated films. Well, I'm doing all my films, hopefully, but, it's good to have all three of, the filmmaking types that I've done. It shows the variety, and I don't know, you get more, variety that way with the way I talk about things that I'm talking about. My different mediums of how I've done filmmaking. Blender was the biggest one I had a big massive phase with, and it's sort of phased out. I'm probably never gonna return to Blender again. I'm probably gonna do 3D animation again, just probably maybe not with Blender. Unless it becomes professional, then I'll use Blender, but I don't think I'm gonna touch Blender. Other than that, I'm definitely not going to be making any Blender Lego movies anytime soon. I'm sorry, guys, if you wanted part 3 of the Misfit Recruit Funbud High series. That's down the drain. I am so sorry. But anyways, that we are not here to talk about the Funbud Heist. We are here to talk about the Galactic Escape, my first ever Blender animated film. And I was crazy to make this film. For one, it was my first ever Blender animated film. And for two, I did this for a college project, which means I only had 2 months to do it. Realistically, I only had a month to animate because the first month was spent ideas generating on all that jazz and making the sets for it. And then the second month was actually animating the film. So I only had a month to actually animate it, which you can kind of tell. I mean, there's not that many sets, the sets repeat, and the ending was completely cut, which is why it ends kind of anticlimactic. But other than that, I'm really proud of the way I'm able to be resilient and able to make this film within the time frame, because I did not want to make any other film at the time. I was tired of live action and I hated live action at the time, and I didn't want to work with live action again. So I was I need this film to be good. I need to prove to them that I can do a Blender animated film within the time frame, and you know what, I did. So hooray for me. Alrighty, so the Galactic Escape. So obviously this is a homage to Shaun of the Dead, the Edgar Wright film, because I was mad inspired by Edgar Wright when filming this. All this stuff is cartoony nonsense, and Edgar Wright style of filmmaking you will understand with all the whip pans and that. This shot was inspired by Blade Runner 2049. I was you can tell with the colors, I was so in that phase. You can tell this is all of my hyperfixations with movies rolled into my own thing, and I'm just so happy that I was able to make this. There are some shots like that shot where it's I could have done the lighting better. I did not know about the sky texture settings in Blender, and that's why it's so dark, because I used a literal cube and it made it so dark. Oh my god, this movie's going so fast. Here's a miniature, it's so cool. I was inspired by the Lego movies, obviously. I loved the red lighting, even though I feel it's too dark. In some shots it looks really cool. I don't know, maybe I should have whatchamacallit, I should have color graded that instead of using actual red lighting. Okay, that's probably a bad idea. Never mind. This shot was really cool. This is a lightsaber scene. She's gonna throw a lightsaber, and I did that by using a different texture for the blade. I separated the part into 2 different parts, the blade and the actual thing. Whatchamacallit, and I made the texture a lightsaber texture, and they're watching Lego Star Wars on the TV, and I did that by making again the texture on the face of the TV a different texture, and I did it again there. Crazy, another crazy rip pan. I love that smear framing as well. Oh my god, this movie's going too fast. So this is a call to the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And the funny thing is, I didn't watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly until a year after I made this film. And I didn't really like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, so this is a weird homage to put in my animated film, with all these homages to films that I really love. And then I got Good, the Bad, and the Ugly that A, I didn't watch at the time, and B, I don't even like. So yeah, that's a bit strange. Anyways, this was really cool. I got me and my sister as aliens, and we're like the main aliens in the film because like we're just cool like that, honestly. And I made those hats by myself. I modeled them by myself. They're really basic, actually. But, like, she wears a bucket hat. Well, she used to wear a bucket hat, like, all the time. I wore berets all the time, and that's why the hats are like that. And these people are, like, people that I got from college, and the reason why I convinced them to be on this Lego film is, like, hey, I'm making this Lego film. If you join this Lego film, I'll make you what you look like in real life into this Lego film. That's how I convinced all of them. If you notice, the music for the individual characters are different and separated and like relegated to the individual characters. So me and my sister as aliens have like the Lego Star Wars music, and like Cassandra and Clara have different music relative to them. Oh my god, this movie is so fast paced. I couldn't even say everything. That is so crazy. But yeah, the main things is the colors were really important to this film. Like me understanding colors and their meanings and how to showcase that in films. My inspirations for the colors is La La Land and Blade Runner 2049. My inspiration for the directing was like cartoon shows like The Fairly Odd Parents and Edgar Wright style of filmmaking. I think that's it. I don't know if I had any other inspirations. You watch the film, you would find so many inspirations. Like, oh my god, this is like peak hyperfixation actually. Like, to be honest, like, I couldn't really make the film anything other than that because, like, again, I had such a small window to actually make it, and I couldn't make it, like, this big super space thing about, like, a metaphor about capitalism and all that. So, it's, like, a little fun movie. Oh my god, I didn't mention it. The movie is supposed to render, like, you know how the Lego movie, the kid is actually playing with the Lego while he's, you know, well, the movie's happening, and you're seeing the movie as, like, the kid playing with the Lego. I did that sort of same thing with this movie with the sound design. I actually, like, got my Lego and started, like, using my Lego as the sound design, and that's why I hope I got that effect of, like, it being, like, this childlike imagination. I hope I got that through, and it's the reason why it's so fast paced as well, because I was also inspired by the Lego movie and that, because like if you watch the movie, like everything happens all at once. It's crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna go now because I'm gonna be yapping for way too long about this movie. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Like if you want, subscribe if you want, and I'll go now. Bye bye.